Happy day one, you guys, of the challenge. I'm going to be your host, Shanice. And who am I? I am a mom, I am an author, and I help moms to heal from their past trauma so they can tap into their power, their purpose, and their full potential. And today, on day one of challenge, we are dealing with catastrophic thinking. Let's say it again. Castro- Catastrophic thinking, you guys. When I heard that in prayer, I couldn't even say it, and I was like, God, what is you saying? But it's catastrophic, right? Catastrophic thinking. And what is that? Catastrophic thinking is when something traumatic have happened to you in your life, and now you are walking around on guards thinking the negative, thinking the bad that can happen. So I'm gonna give you an example, right? Say for instance, you um had to take a test, right? And you had to take the test, and because of your belief system of your past failures, you are now perceiving the test off of that past experience. So you probably will say, you will probably have thoughts like, man, if I pass this test and I fail it, then I'm not going to go to college and I'm just going to ruin my life. I'm going to give you an example for myself. In the past, I have struggled with providing for my kids for food. Now, have my kids went without? Of course not. I have always made sure that they have everything that they need. But it have been times that the refrigerator was looking funny and I had no one to look to. And now I have a trauma response when I see food getting low, or you know what I'm saying, or like I try to like overload the refrigerator, or overload the cabinets all the time, trying to make sure they have all the time, and my mind is just steady going, right? And that's because in the past I have had contractive fee. I know I'm saying it wrong, that have happened to me. So now when stuff like that happen, the first thing I think, like, okay, if I spend this money, or if I do this, or if I do that, I'm not gonna have enough for this. And if I can't have enough for that, I start automatically thinking the worst out of a situation. Excuse me. I automatically think the worst out of a situation because of something that happened in my past. So now I'm going off of that belief system, and I am building, still have instead of those disappointments, I am now reliving them over and over and over again as if they are true. So if you are someone and you struggle with that, I want to not only break it down of where it came from. Now we have discovered where it came from. It came from a traumatic event, right? Okay, so what traumatic event have you thinking like this? Was you molested? Was you raped? Was you in an abusive relationship? What have happened to you that have caused this type of thinking, or have caused you to stay in this repetitive type of thinking? And now that you have disassociated yourself from the reality of what's true, what is true, what is noble, what is praiseworthy, and now you're sitting here and you're constantly every single day having these thoughts that something bad is going to happen, and so you walk around on guard all the time. And because you have this type of thinking and you have those type of thoughts that, oh, it's always one thing out of another, what you're doing is you're attracting the negative things to happen to you. Why? Because whatever you give focus to, it become magnified, and you end up attracting bad things to happen to you instead of the good things that God has for you, because you have this type of thinking pattern. And I want you to go back to your soil. Your soil is your heart. What traumatic events that you are keep on avoiding, that you actually need to lean into, deal with the pain, because what's happening, your body embodied the pain. Your body embodied what happened, and now the symptoms of anxiety and depression from that environment, from what happened, is showing up in your body, and you thinking that something is wrong with you, because you're having this anxiety, or anxiety attack, or you know what I'm saying, you having these depression. No, that is rooted from a traumatic event that happened to you, and now your body is embodied inside of your body actually feeling the pain. So what pain do you need to lean into, and you need to process in order for you to process that pain? And because this is what I learned so beautiful about our healing, and I'm in that season right now, and I talked about this at the beginning of the challenge, that my mind is no longer want to house the pain that happened to you, that happened to me. My mind is actually telling me that it's time to move on. It's time to let it go. My own brain have now processed the pain, and now my brain is saying, okay, I have processed this information. I need you to delete this information. I need you to put new things inside of me because I have enough room to house the new thing. Okay. So where did this type of thinking come from? It came from a traumatic event, and not only do you need to revisit that pain, but after you revisit that pain, you need to sit in that pain, right? You need to sit in that pain. You need to allow yourself to feel. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I'm gonna talk about it along on this journey. I had disconnected myself from my pain because the pain was so severe. I didn't want to deal with the pain no more. But because I disconnected myself from the pain, what I actually did was I created a disassociation identity disorder, which means I created this false reality that was not real inside my mind, that something bad is going to always happen to me. Nothing good never comes to me, right? As a catastrophic thinking is actually a coping mechanism that you picked up to protect yourself. So if anything was to bad happen, then you won't be surprised because you have already thought that something bad was going to happen. So now it just proven it already proved your belief system. I hope you guys are understanding. If this sounds familiar, I want you to put it down in the chat. But in actuality, it's not the fact that, oh, I knew this was going to happen. No, you thought yourself into something bad. You attracted something bad, and something bad happened. It's not the fact, man, that's why I don't get my hopes up. No. God tells us to get our hopes up. Hope is the faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. But the thing is, we're putting our hope and our belief in the wrong thing, and we keep on manifesting, and the wrong thing keep manifesting out of us. Why? Because we are still holding on to those past experiences as it was something bad. In actuality, those past experiences redirecting you to where you need to be. How do I know that? Because one day I was in the presence of God, and He told me I need you to stop contrafactory thinking. I know I said the name wrong, but you know what I mean. And I was like, God, what does that mean? Like, what are you saying? Like, I don't understand. And I went and I looked at. No, it came up on my feed. That's what ended up happening. It came up on my feed, and I kid y'all not. I was like, whoa, like God was showing me my thinking pattern. And not only that, He showed me like, you have disconnected yourself from this pain because it hurt you so much. But I need you to sit with that pain because it's power in that pain and it's purpose in that pain. I want y'all to understand this. When you sit in your pain, you will be able to see the power and the purpose in that pain. I'm gonna give you an analogy. This is not my analogy, but I'm gonna give you this analogy from this book that I'm reading, the Guardian Within. She was saying how every time Jesus leaned into his emotions, every time he leaned into the pain, power was produced from it. And she used the analogy when Jesus wept, right? Before he told Lazarus to come up, Lazarus lived. First, Jesus broke down and he wept. He cried. He felt that emotion. He leaned into that pain. But after that, after he leaned into that pain, he didn't suppress the pain. I don't know about you, but I do a lot of suppressing. He did not suppress the pain. He leaned into the pain. And when he leaned into the pain, power was produced because he told Lazarus to come up. Another analogy that she used, and I thought it was so powerful to make me look at my emotions a little bit differently. That when Jesus was inside of the garden of Gethsemane, and he was dying to himself, the Bible states that his sweat was like blood, but in the terminology point, it talks about how actually your blood vessels can pop. So Jesus was so filled with so much fear and agony that he allowed all that pain. He leaned into that pain, but after he got out of the pain, the angel came and strengthened him, which I feel was so powerful because we run away from our pain, but in actuality, that's when we get our strength at, because that's when we are weak. That's when we are strong, right? Because Jesus will come in and strengthen us, but we lean away from our pain because we was told that if we cry or if we sit in that pain, that we're not powerful, or we have become so religious that we have thought like, oh, if I lean into this pain, then that means I don't have faith. No, your pain has nothing to do with your faith, okay? Because in actuality, if you don't lean into that pain, it will actually allow you to get the wrong belief system, and you end up believing wrong and you will end up receiving wrong, right? And after Jesus, he was strengthened by angel, they said that's when he got up and they came and asked, who is Jesus? He said, I am he. I You coming from me. So after he just went through all this pain and this agony, now he got power. So are you running away from your pain? Because one of the things that I have learned, if you do not lean in your pain and you do not deal with that pain will overcome you. So either you're going to lean into that pain, learn from that pain, be strengthened by that pain, or this type of thinking will continue. So how do you stop this type of thinking? How do you stop catastrophatic, catastrophatic thinking? Y'all, the spelling is going to be on this video. Okay, so you can go and look what I'm saying. Okay, revisit the pain. You want to revisit the pain, okay? Because and sit in that pain, like sit in that pain. The effects of this pain, of this type of thinking, you actually put yourself in that event that happened, right? So when that event happened, you had anxiety, you was anxious, you became panicked, and every time you think about something like that, you have panic attacks. You actually think yourself as a depression and anxiety, right? You actually, because you have told yourself this would never, you say things to yourself, it will never happen, things will never change. And if you actually think like that and you believe that things are not going to change, it's going to make you be depressed because you have no hope that things will change. Okay, so what do? Be present. Be present. Allow yourself to actually, like I said, sit in that pain. It's a lot of things that God is not bringing to my memory. And I was watching this live yesterday, y'all. This is gonna be the longest day. I did not mean for day one to be 11 minutes. I promise you, I thought these videos were gonna be 3 to 5 minutes, but tomorrow I'm gonna make sure it's 3 to 5 minutes. um I was watching this video of this woman that her name is Danielle, and she said a lot of you guys are experiencing that you are dealing with pain is starting to come up. You like, God, I thought you healed me from that. And she said, no, God is actually telling you, I want you to go and get back and reclaim, which is 2024. That is her academy goal. That is our theme for the year: reclaim, reestablish, and refocus ourselves, right? And she said, God is actually bringing you back to that pain because he got something for you. He wants you to go back and reclaim from. Maybe it's your peace, maybe it's your joy, whatever it is. But lately, before I go to bed, God have been allowing me to sit in certain sitting in certain pain that I have been running from for a long time, that I didn't want to feel that pain no more. I actually disconnected myself, disassociated myself. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about that later on in the in the challenge. Dissociation identity disorder is a thing, and I'm gonna elaborate more on it if Holy Spirit lead me, because a lot of times I'll be getting ahead of myself. But I disassociated myself, you know what I'm saying, from the pain for so long that now the pain lingered. So some things my brain is done processing and my brain is ready to release, but it's some things that God is bringing back to my memory that I suppressed for so long that He wants me to sit in and to realize that that pain was not to basically no longer allowing the pain to have power over me, but actually taking the pain and turning it into power. Okay, so you can either take the pain and turn it into power, or you can take that pain, sit in that pain, and waddle in pity. It's up to you. And I'm refusing to waddle in pity another day. Okay, so being present, actually revisiting the pain, sitting in that pain, sit in that pain. Watch what your body is telling you, right? Because when you sit in that pain and you allow your body to feel, you allow your body to feel that pain, you'll be able to be present with that pain and knowing that what you are feeling is actually your body have embodied that pain, and you will start releasing that heaviness from your heart. That's why you feel like you be having a panic attack, because some of that pain that you're dealing with is actually lodged inside your heart. It's lodged inside your back. It's lodged inside your liver. It's lodged inside your kidney. It's lodged inside your lower hip. It's actually, you have actually embodied the pain that now God wants you to sit in that pain and release it. What brings me back to a prophetic word He gave me about two years ago. The release that you will have is going to bring a relief to your body. It's going to bring a relief to that disease. It's going to bring a relief to those migraines you have every day. I'm talking to myself. It's going to bring a relief to that fatigue that you have every single day, because the pain has been embodied. So how do you go from this catastrophic thinking to now challenging yourself. When you thinking like that, is that true? Is Am I really gonna go without if I do this? And God said he'll provide all my needs according to his riches and his glory. And you will be surprised when you just sit, be still, hear your thoughts, hear what your thoughts are saying, and I guarantee you those thoughts that you're having is based off of those past events, that past thing that happened, and it's hindering you from stepping into what God has for you because he has so much more for you. It is time for us, and I'm talking to myself, to release and let go some things so you will have the relief inside your body. You will have the relief that you are crying out to God for, because God wants us to reclaim our joy and our peace that he offered from us, but we have been in bondage with the things that happened in our past that is trying to hinder us from stepping into our future. So this is day one. Come back for day two. Tomorrow I'll be talking about belief systems and dismantling those belief systems, so you can start challenging those belief systems, so you can start stepping out into who God have called you to be. If you did not go and watch this morning meditation was be still. Just being still, sitting still. And I'm telling you, if you have never been still before, baby, it's your mind gonna be going haywire. As your mind is going haywire, it's okay. You are rewiring your mind. Sit down, write that stuff out. And I guarantee you, when you start writing those thoughts out and see how silly those thoughts is, you're going to know, like, oh, I am creating scenarios in my mind. That's not even true. How many times have you created a scenario in your mind that you thought it was going to be one way and it ended up turning out to be the other way? I'm going to say this story and I'm going to get off. I had to go to court. I've been dealing with all these tickets. I have been running from dealing with some things, personal things that I need to deal with. But now I'm facing those things head on. And I realized the reason why I was not facing those things because I was creating scenarios in my mind that was going to happen that didn't even happen. Yeah, I went to court. Every time I went to court, I got favor. Every single time I went to court, I had like 3 infractions and 2 tickets. They threw 3 infractions off, and I was only have to pay 2 tickets so I can get everything reinstated. Now, had I kept on running and create those scenarios in my mind that was not true, I would have never stood before that judge, baby. I favor. Did I want to pop? Did I want to drop off that $545? No, ma'am. But had I kept running, I would never have got those infractions. I would have ended up becoming out like $2,500. So what am I saying? When God tell you to go forth and do something, do not allow that type of thinking to talk you out of what God have said. Like my pastor said, it is many voices. But what voices are you listening to that's hindering you and stopping you from thinking and believing the way Christ believed? Okay. So come back tomorrow for day two. Also, inside of the description box, you will be able to download the downloadable that you're going to need to downloadable for next week. Now, if you want to download the downloadable, it's free. You could download it this week. But if you want it for next week, you could download it. If you want it now to read over it so you could just go along next week, that would be great. This week, we're dealing with our heart. Catastrophic thinking comes from the heart. Is your belief systems is connected in your heart, is deeply rooted inside of you, is your inner being that needs to be shifted. So this week we're going to deal with the root of it, and then next week we're going to deal with the fruit, and then the following week we will deal with the habits and the physical aspects of your body. But each day you're going to have a brainy tip. So stay tuned later on for your brainy tip, and I see y'all later. Bye bye.